Welcome everyone to Marvel Hub. This is DK Dynamite, and today tickets went on sale for Avengers Endgame, and along with that we got a new trailer with a lot of spoiler-filled footage. So for those of you who haven't seen the trailer yet, I'm gonna play it right now.
If we do this, we'd be going in short-handed.
Yeah, you mean because he killed all our friends?
We owe this to everyone who's not in this room to try.
It's not about how much we lost. It's about how much we have left. We're the Avengers. We gotta finish this. You trust me? I do. You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
Tickets on sale now.
Okay, so as we dive into it, we get another look here at Avengers HQ in upstate New York. We then get an alternate shot of Bruce Banner talking to the team. That's an alternate shot from the one we already got in the second full-on trailer for Endgame. And we then get a look at, I think that's Black Widow there, looking pretty depressed. We have Steve finally shaving, so I'm assuming we'll see him with his beard for a little bit in the first act, as we've previously reported. And then he'll, of course, shave to have his classic clean Captain America look towards the middle of the film. We then get an alternate look here at the Quinjet. We've seen that already. We then get a nice shot of Rocket and Nebula mourning the loss of the entire Guardians team, so that'll be a heartfelt moment and a pretty interesting conversation between them two. And we could also notice that Nebula has now returned to Earth, so I guess they're okay with spoiling the fact that Tony and Nebula are coming back. They don't want to really leave that as a surprise for the film, and that's quite noticeable, but keep in mind there could be some fake footage in these trailers. The Russo brothers themselves have confirmed that there are some fake shots in the previously released Endgame trailers. We obviously had fake scenes in the Infinity War trailers, so take everything we talk about today with a grain of salt, because we never know what's going to end up making the final cut when Endgame releases. But we then get a really nice shot of Tony reuniting with Pepper. Obviously this is right when Tony has returned to Earth after being stranded in space. Not sure how long the time jump is going to be from the end of Infinity War to the first act of Endgame. I presume not that long. Another nice shot here of the Avengers compound. We've already seen that. Then we get a really clear shot of Iron Man flying over New York, and I'm not sure when this would take place. This could easily be one of the fake shots of the film, because we haven't really seen any shots in the daytime, to be honest with you, when it comes to Endgame. Everything's really been at night, very gloomy, very depressing, but Iron Man being in the sky here in upstate New York, it's pretty interesting. So not sure if there's going to be another fight in New York at some point in Endgame, or this could be when Tony is going back in time to 2012 with Scott to retrieve the Tesseract. Maybe he's using his new suit during the 2012 events from Avengers 1. Not sure what exactly that is. We then have another shot here of Hawkeye, Black Widow, Thor meeting up with Captain Marvel, you know, kind of intimidating her with the Stormbreaker. Same shot we've already seen. That'd be an alternate take. We then get a really nice group shot of just about everybody here except Thor, from what I could see right now. So almost all the Avengers in one shot. It's pretty damn cool. Really nice to see here in the trailer. We have Rocket and Nebula in the background as well. War Machine towards the left. Got Ant-Man on the right. So this might be towards the end of the movie when they're coming up with their last plan to take on Thanos. So pretty nice shot there. We then get another cool shot of Tony and Cap in New York, and I believe Cap is wearing his new suit, unless that's his Nomad suit from Infinity War. I'm not sure, but he is shaved in this scene, so this could be towards the second or third act in the movie, talking about their trust for one another, and they then shake hands. There were some theories over on Reddit that apparently Tony wasn't shaking Cap's hand in this trailer, and he was actually shaking Ant-Man's hand, but if you look closely towards the right, that is definitely Cap's uniform. It's a bit dull and busted up, so this might actually be his Nomad uniform. Not exactly sure, but that's definitely Tony and Steve shaking hands. Obviously reuniting, obviously trusting each other again after the brutal events of Civil War, where they went head-to-head with each other. Moving on here, we get another shot of the Guardian ship going to space. Really nice CGI there of them zooming through. Captain Marvel is the pilot along with Rocket, so who would have known, the two best pilots in the galaxy, of course, flying the Guardian ship together. That's pretty damn sick. And if you notice though, if you take a really close look here, this is going back to the leak we originally reported on. Natasha has blonde hair in this shot, and Steve is wearing his Winter Soldier uniform. This is exactly what we were talking about. Unless this is a fake scene, this is exactly the leak we were reporting on, where in the first act of the film, without the help of Tony, without the help of Ant-Man, they go ahead and think that with Captain Marvel's help, they could definitely go and defeat Thanos over on Titan 2, because that's where he is right now, resting after the events of Infinity War. So they're going to go there. As you can see, Cap in his Winter Soldier uniform, they're all going to go there. This is right after Endgame, or I'm sorry, right after Infinity War, when Captain Marvel comes to Earth. They're going to go there, they're going to lose, we're going to get a big title sequence, and then move into the second and third act of the movie. And towards the second act is when Ant-Man exits the quantum realm, Tony returns from space. That's when they all group up together. That's when they come up with a good plan to go through time using the quantum realm to collect all the Infinity Stones and make their own gauntlet to then face Thanos one last time at the end of the movie. So based on this footage and based on the leaks, we can easily say that as of right now, there will be a battle with Thanos at the beginning of the film, and they will of course lose because all the Avengers once again are not together. If they're not all together, they'll lose. We get a pretty depressing shot there of Tony and Peter. That's a shot in front of Stark Industries as Tony's reminiscing some previous events, pretty depressed about how Peter was killed at the end when the snap happened. We then get a huge shot of, this is Thanos' ship, I believe. I don't know if they're calling this Titan 2 or not. I'm not exactly sure, but that is definitely Thanos' ship. And we get Nebula and War Machine looking right at that. Pretty fearful. Thor and Rocket looking pretty sad and pretty scared as well. We then have Cap on the floor, and notice how he's wearing a different uniform in this shot. In this shot of Cap, he is not wearing his Winter Soldier uniform. Instead, he's wearing the classic Scales uniform that we've seen in the concept art of Endgame, we've seen in comics. He hasn't really worn this too much in the films, if not at all, but this is definitely a different suit from the one he was wearing when he was on the Guardian ship with Captain Marvel. So this is definitely a shot towards the end of the film in the final act against Thanos. We then have our first look at Thanos finally in Endgame. We haven't seen him one time in any of the trailers except for the first look at Endgame when we saw, I believe, his back and we saw his armor laying on that farm. We then have a nice shot here of Tony here with the other Avengers looking right at Thanos. And we have a really cool shot of the trio here, Iron Man, Cap, and Thor, the three OG Avengers that started it all, as they walk here on Titan. And obviously this was kind of a tickets on sale promo trailer for Endgame, but definitely a lot of new footage, definitely spoiler filled. And honestly, if they didn't release this trailer, they just kind of, you know, released the movie without really saying much or showing very much in terms of spoilers, it would have been fine. We've seen plenty from the first two trailers to kind of hype us up. I think people are hyped up either way, regardless of even seeing any of this footage. People are already hyped up for the ending here of the MCU, at least for the first three phases. But besides the actual trailer, and besides the little breakdown we just did, I wanted to bring up that if you guys had issues with purchasing tickets for this film, don't freak out like I did, because eventually the site will come back online if it's still down for some of you. The site was completely broken for me. We had AMC, Fandango, Regal, so many different sites offering tickets, and every single one of them were down because there were millions of people obviously trying to purchase them at the very same time. But luckily, I was able to cop some tickets thanks to my girlfriend, who was fast enough to get some 3D tickets for, I believe, at 10 p.m. on April the 25th, the day before the actual release of the movie, which is great to hear. So luckily I'll be seeing it during the fan opening event, but hopefully you guys were able to cop them as fast as you were as well, because a lot of people out there were literally in the process of checking out, got their money taken from their account, and the website just crashed on them, so they weren't able to actually get their email confirmation showing their ticket numbers, showing the hit that went through, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think of this trailer down below in the comment section. This has been DK Dynamite. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn notifications on to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Marvel news and information. And peace out, everyone.
The work is done. I won. What I'm about to do, I'm going to enjoy it. Very, very much.